Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Kelly, your macros coach, and you're listening to the Kelly Counts Macros podcast, where I simplify nutrition, strengthen your mindset, and make sustainable fat loss possible. Be sure to follow the show, leave a review, and share this episode with a friend who feels stuck in this same cycle. So, breaking the cycle, I'm going to give you tips to finally lose those same 5 pounds for good. This weekend, we had a date night and we went to see Nate Bargatze. So fun, super funny. Love his sense of humor. So hopefully you had time to do something fun with somebody that you loved this past weekend. Have you ever felt like you're losing and gaining the same 5 pounds over and over again? If so, you are absolutely not alone. In fact, I recently asked my private clients and my clubhouse members what helped them finally break the cycle. So today I'm sharing their most powerful tips that I helped them through, their lessons and their mindset shifts. So these aren't just from me, these are from real people doing the work every single day. I have coached them, they have inspired me, and all of them have something valuable to teach us. So the first one is win the weekend by starting early. So one member told me that shifting her start of the week to Friday instead of Monday helped her plan better. That way, she could fit in any cravings or special meals or events, meals out on her more structured weekdays, ice cream with her kids, rather than saving everything for the weekend. So often I hear, I do good all week, and then the weekend comes and the wheels fall off. So I found this to be a great way to deal with the weekends. Start the week on Friday, help you plan better, and this created momentum. And this kept her in the groove, and she ended up losing all of the weight she wanted to. And she was never starting over again on Monday and was able to lose those last 5 pounds that sometimes are hard to come off. The next one, ask for honesty. And I really like this one. Sometimes it's hard when your husband or wife or somebody that you live with, you have to ask them to be brutally honest. So she asked her partner to be brutally honest about her patterns, and it helped. You know, it's hard to hear, but it gave her clarity. And I think in the back of her mind, she knew, but then she was held accountable. And somebody, sometimes we just need to find somebody that we trust to tell us the truth we've been avoiding. So this was a big mindset shift for her. So when I think about this, I think about my husband, and honestly, I don't know. He loves me so much. I don't know if he would be brutally honest because he would be afraid to hurt my feelings or that he was nitpicking. So I don't know if that would be a good person, but somebody that I would definitely ask for honesty and check in with would be my sister. And her name is Kate. She does train with Kate in Erie, PA, but also has virtual availability. So just a little plug for her. But I would ask her to be brutally honest with me. Kelly, this is what's going on, and this is why you're not getting the results that you want. Number three, ditch the fluctuating calories if it doesn't work for you. A lot of my clients I will put into a calorie cycling or weekend macros. And some men and women, they just can't handle that. When I give them extra calories on the weekend, the wheels fall off and they just eat all of the things. So, one of my clients, he realized that he couldn't mentally handle the caloric cycling, so he needed more consistency. So he chose to eat the same amount of calories and macros 7 days a week. and then only go higher when planned, like beers with the guys and wings with the guys on Friday. And this gave him so much more structure and flexibility instead of the wheels falling off 3 days in a row where he would eat all the things. He would start on Friday with pizza, and then Saturday he would be with his kids all day, so they would be going to the amusement park and he'd all eat all the fun foods there and then stop on the way home for fast food, thinking that he had these extra calories on the weekend, and it just wasn't working for him. So more consistency for him worked. So ditch the fluctuating macros and calories. Number 4, track your progress beyond the scale. This is a huge one. So many of you are still laser focused on that scale. You'll say to me, well, I want to weigh 125 pounds. Okay. And realistically, you probably don't even know what 125 pounds looks like on you. And your body comp can be completely different. You can be 125 pounds and be wiggly jiggly, or you can be 125 pounds and have defined muscles. So, tracking your progress beyond the scale. We talk about non-scale victories. We talk about rings fitting better. If you can see your clavicle more, maybe your belt, you had to go down a hole. Obviously, any type of measurements that you would do or progress pictures and gains in the gym. So, once this person decided to track her progress beyond the scale, she reported losing inches. And while the weight stayed the same, once she gained and lost the same 5 pounds for 2 months, she remeasured and lost several inches and dropped clothing sizes. So do not forget about the pictures or the measurements. Obviously, muscle looks better on the body and it measures less. So you need those measurements. Those muscle fibers are tighter, much, much tighter and smaller than fat. Number 5, this one might sting, but it's a huge truth bomb for so many of my clients. Be honest about what counts as a special occasion. You can't have 3 special occasions a week. All right. Not every dinner out is a special occasion. One member, clubhouse member, she said, I had to get really honest about what events were derailing her. Celebrating a major life event, sure. Going out every Friday just because that needed the boundaries. So being honest, less YOLOs and more keeping it tight and right, and having your priorities and your non-negotiables. But every Friday when you start early, maybe at a happy hour with the girls, and then it goes all night long with extra eating and drinking, that really is not a special occasion. So, do your events need some boundaries? Number 6, choose one habit and stick to it for 30 days. So many of my clients get overwhelmed. They want me to tell them everything to do. They want to know how much water, how many steps, how many calories, how many macros, how many strength training. Okay, let's start and not overwhelm ourselves. Choose one habit and stick to it for 30 days. Several of my clients said focusing on one thing at a time was key. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Kelly, for taking it slow, habit stacking. Because if I gave you all of the things, you would crash and burn. So whether it was sleep, whether it was walking, or just tracking protein, they stuck with one goal for 30 days and built from there. Everybody knows I like to keep it simple. Simplicity leads to success. Number 7, plan for disruptions. Don't let them derail you. Don't have the all or nothing mentality. If you're a clubhouse member or a shred member, we use the all or something mentality. So instead of letting a vacation or event throw them off, members shared how planning ahead helped, bringing the protein snacks, booking a walk-friendly activity with a friend or a relative, or even by yourself on vacation, ordering veggies at every dinner. They found the little ways to stay on track, even in chaotic situations. Perhaps alcohol is throwing you off, and you need to start thinking about, okay, I need to bring some sparkling water or a mocktail, or making a bright line as we do inside of the shred in the clubhouse. I will only have two drinks. And bringing the snacks, having that macro-friendly diaper bag with you at all times is key. Number 8, gamify the process. One woman told me she turned eating into a game. So she tried to create the most macro-friendly meal she could from the actual menu at a restaurant. She snapped a photo and treated it like a challenge, and it made dining out fun instead of stressful. She was my private client, so she was very proud to show me this picture, and I would help her with the macros. How many calories, how many proteins, how many carbs, how many fat, and it was like a game. So she loved that she turned eating out into a game. And she tried to create the most macro-friendly meal she could from the menu. She would send me the picture, and then we would tweak it. What she did well, what she could do better, and I would help her with the calories and the macros. Number 9, mindset is everything, right? The most repeated theme from Kelly Counts Macros, mindset. That's what's different about me. We work on the hard stuff. I don't just give you a meal plan and tell you, here, do this for 8 weeks, because if I did that, you would just gain all the weight back, okay? So mindset, shifting away from being perfect and embracing progress made all the difference for this client, okay? She said, discipline is doing what's best for me, even if I don't want to. And this became one of my clients' daily mantras. Discipline is doing what's best for me, even if I don't want to. And this became her mantra. Another client said, and I have people do this, this is actually one of my coaching tips. I don't give up, I just keep going. I don't give up. I just keep going. Because if you've been around me for a long time, or even just a little while, you know the only way to fail is to quit. So I don't give up. I just keep going. Write it down, put it on your mirror. Number 10, know your patterns. One member said she finally realized her Fridays were a consistent overage day. She went over her calories every single Friday. That's why we use the consistency calendar inside of the shred and the clubhouse. Number 1, it will hold you accountable so that you don't spiral. We aim for never having two X's in a row, two red X's. But then also you become very aware of your patterns and where you're falling off. So, that awareness just helped her adjust the rest of her week to account for it. You have to understand your patterns before you can change them. And a consistency calendar is something so simple. Like I said, we use it in the clubhouse and inside of the shred, and it is a game changer. So, if you've been stuck in the lose, gain, repeat cycle, I hope this episode helped. I hope it helped you feel less alone and more empowered. So these tips came from me and my people, people just like you. And if they can break the cycle, so can you. So tag me on Instagram at Kelly Counts Macros in your stories. Tell me what tip helped you most. I would love to hear. And if you're ready for the coaching that fits real life, the shred will be opening. It starts September 18th. It will be open on September 2nd. Join the next round. I want you to feel amazing by the holidays. You get custom macros with the option for weekend macros. You will have an option for virtual or in person with Caitlin Danowski at Train with Kate. Check her out. Consistency calendar to keep you on track. We just talked about that. Easy to track items in the My Macros Plus app. weekly live recorded sessions, and weekly check-ins, simple grocery lists, family-friendly recipe ideas, sample weekly meal plan, accountability partner or trio or foursome. We're still deciding on that. Private group and one-on-one coaching via instant messenger. We have the fun events that keep us rocking and rolling, team challenges, swag, and $500 cash prize for the biggest transformation based on overall change, not pounds lost. So before and after photos and a testimonial are required to qualify. So join the wait list now. Spots always fill fast. I sell out because I can only coach so many people. So this is your chance to finally feel comfortable and confident in your own skin before the holidays. So you've totally got this. Talk to you next week. Always doing better than you think you are.